G'day, welcome back for session, I think this is 26 of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. Thank you for the tips in the previous video as well. So the first thing I think that I just want to sort of say that I'm aware of that I did read in that. Now that I have reached a crude oil pocket down here. Now it has been mentioned that this will be pressurized. So I guess at the point where I say if I dug down and hit it, it's just going to sort of like regain that pressure and expand. And so it could potentially like rocket, I guess, all the way up. So I guess that would mean, if I'm understanding that correctly, what I would probably then want to do is sort of dig to here and then dig this out before then descending into it, so that basically there's a huge pocket of area that it can go to, as opposed to having to funnel all the way up that really thin sort of passage that I've made. That's my understanding of what sort of the warning is for there. The other thing that was mentioned was the size of this room should be, it's what, 12 per thing, and then it can be up to 96 in total. So I guess possibly what that means is that I should actually just expand this room down, give them a bit more headspace, and then that will just allow them to feel like they've got that more amount of room. I'm not sure. I'll definitely have to do something with it, so we'll work that one out. I could probably expand it out this way as well, actually. It's currently 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 times 4 would be 32, 64. So I could still make it sort of like almost a third as big. Sorry, a third. 50% bigger than it currently is. 33% of the total. So let's just put that in practice, I suppose. Since they can get along the bottom here, let's just ask them to dig out this, and we'll build the back of the room before we then connect it. Let's cancel those ones so they can stand on top of it to sort of work their way up. Okay, what else do we want to address on this one? Now, I do realize that there is the germs. Right, so this water here I could now just pump straight from here into this one. It does make me wonder if I should make this room bigger somehow to address the amount of water that I could potentially have. I mean, there's probably no harm in keeping that as an emergency supply and doing something that I should have done a long time ago and just building a lip there for them to walk over, so that now any water that comes all the way down can't get into this water and risk polluting it again. But sorting out the issues that I want to have with sort of like it's natural gas down there. That's not what I wanted. The chlorine. I want to build that here. Now, it does sound like the answer to, well, how do I build for the chlorine? Excuse me, is that I actually should just be working that one out myself. That there's so many different ways to do it. It's actually probably the more sort of fun way of doing it. That it's going to be based on automation. That I want to sort of set up timers, I guess, or is there like a, what other sort of sensors have we got? Liquid element. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's something that I do just have to spend some time sort of reading into, if there's a timer that I can work out how long it's actually going to last. But my intention is that I do want that built here, that this is the area that I'm going to use for that. Now that's sort of what I started doing this over here for. I was actually trying to build this inwards so that I can just basically raise this up and then bring this wall in and have more space there. And I just sort of stopped doing it, so we'll build those two extra ones as well. We are still working on building our suits. I think I did put in an order for suits. I don't remember how that was going. Wasn't there, was it? Who was making my suits? This guy. Alright, so there is one suit down there. Cool. So what we can start doing is putting in our Atmo suits, and we'll put them here. I suppose I can just remove them from this one and start to build them in here. So that's where we're going to need them first. So if we go deconstruct. We'll just start by removing the back ones, and then we'll, once those two are gone, we'll put the two new ones in, then we'll remove those two, change that, and be off and running. Now, the other comment that I did quite like was someone pointed out that I'm putting in here, what kind of material would it be? Polluted dirt and slime. And we don't want polluted dirt and slime. Rot pile doesn't sound overly good either, so let's remove that too. So if we change that, and then we say copy settings, and we do that for all of our guys in the middle. I think that's basically all the ones that actually would have a specific task. Then what we do is we will grab one of these guys and we will place them here. So the idea is that those things that do pollute and sort of put these noxious gases into the air are actually outside of my town, not inside it, which I think is a very good suggestion. Okay. Now let's just have a look north to see if there's any more exploring that we should keep doing. Realizing that we are getting to the vacuum of space makes me a little bit more reluctant. I feel like we could probably go up here. It's like the joining point between these two. Or even go further out this way. Seems like there's a lot more to explore around. And this guy we're probably getting close to that we can put the call in to have him use some liquid. Okay, so now on this one we want to do the opposite. We only want to go those nasty things. And then we can say copy settings on him and on that. Okay, so these two here are gone. So that will be the stations, I believe. We need to get some refined metal to do this. It's not the checkpoint, it's the dock. I guess it wants us to refine the metal before we do it. Just up that to 20 because we are using this a fair bit. And I do want to get more of that metal. I suppose we could sort of work into these sections, but this is all still within the base, which we probably want to address too. I mean, at least this is sort of more carbon dioxide storage down there, so it doesn't matter too much that that's connected. That's sort of its job is to sort of have all the unbreathable stuff down the bottom. Okay. So this has been moved forward again. So what I want to do then is I will build a ladder higher up here to there, and then we'll ask them to dig basically these top two lines out. And then what we'll do is we'll also just give them the order to build a wall here. Don't really want them wandering through the water in order to go that way. We want them sort of coming up to do it. So we'll just block that off now. Just hopefully someone doesn't block it off while someone else is still in here. There's also a hatch in there. Okay, so with this removed from here, let's dig out those 5 now. Okay, so then what we also can now do is deconstruct those guys. And the other thing I do want to get on doing was the Drecos. Let's mention this guy is the one that I want, the blue one. He's the guy I should be after. He eats... grazes on live mealwood plants. Okay, so that sounds like I've got to set up an actual mealwood section just for him. So we'll put him, I guess, south of these guys. We'll build a ladder here to allow us to get the roof of these guys' section. I'll probably have to build a second ladder as well. Just over here so they can reach those high points. Now I do need to address the crude oil in here. It was confirmed for me that they will drown if that gets too deep. I did like a suggestion that someone put in that you could have like a liquid vent in the bottom that actually drops it out. But I assume that you can't have a liquid vent. So for example that. The problem is that it would allow gas to get out too, and basically this is blocked in for our carbon dioxide. So we don't want, because if that comes down, then potentially we're going to have carbon dioxide seeping out the bottom too. But actually might just be that we need that crude oil to be farmed. So let's go back to... That's definitely something that I need to address. I'm just not addressing it just yet, because obviously if I don't address it after too long, they will they'll drown. Some water there too. The water's fine, so we can mop it up. Oh, I've got stinkies stuck down there. It's temperature like down here. It's bearable enough for mealwood. We'll just wait till this is all done. Good. We can deconstruct these guys. We can dig out that. And then we can put in the floor. Just keep an eye on Stinky to make sure he doesn't lock himself in. Good. Okay, with how much work she's doing there, have we got enough for our stations now? I hope I am actually doing the right thing there. I assume that that's what... Yeah. Fine metal. No. These are refined metals though, right? Maybe I've got something else. Oh, I assume that I might be using it on this. Reed fiber. Okay, what is reed fiber? Who's trapped? Alright, mate. Watching for Stinky to do that to himself. Didn't wait to see if anyone else did. Now, I'm not sure if there's any pipes inside that wall. Just to be safe. Let's get those out and save May's life. Outside of stable. Is that suggesting that the stable's too big? What have I got now? 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 100. Alright, so it's just too big. So, let's, So if I reeled that into there, I think that's enough. That would get rid of 4 squares. Let's give that a go. I mean, I'm probably going a little bit too bare minimum here. It's just to keep that airflow tile in here for them. We'll see if the addition of that door allows them to be considered inside. There we go, perfect. Okay, there's that sound. I think that means that we can now build things that we couldn't build before. Cool. So we want the suit dock. 2 of them. Can't tell you how eagerly I am awaiting this to be triggered. It's to see like my first automation build, as simple as it is, just actually work. Okay. So let's keep digging this out. Now we'll read of this guy a bit more. So his comfort range is pretty hot. Livable range is huge. He likes mealwood. He likes brittle blossoms. It would probably be the temperature that mealwood can exist in, as well as his comfort range. So girls only grow in hydrogen climates, so I need hydrogen sort of within 2. Now, I know there's some hydrogen down here that he's got, but is there a way that I can manufacture hydrogen? So that's my next question there. Okay, so we'll start to build this as a floor. Just to get rid of it, we'll build a small ladder to dig out that corner. I also need something, I think, to hold the crude oil. I can't imagine that's the standard sort of box. Cool, there's probably some things that will make him happier that I could put in place. I always wonder about how a solid filter will work. Like that was one of the other things that was mentioned in the comments was that the way that the shipping works. That this is basically the equivalent of the piping, and the like the gas pipes and the liquid pipes, but for solids. But I mean, how would solids sort of be pulled into it? Would it just be that you would be dropping something off at it to have it then brought? Yeah. Decrease bathroom use speed. It's a rough one. Currently got 4 guys in here. Would mean that this guy can be wrangled. I think it was saying 8 is how many I could have in a 96 square one. So he would be 4. Can if I sweep him, I think, yeah, hatchling eggs go in there. We can sweep that. No, not sandstone. I mean, we can sweep the sandstone as well, no big deal. But I think that guy also had a parent that would be around somewhere. I cannot see him at the moment. But we will start to build a room for... No. The first thing I need to do with him is work out how to put hydrogen in a room. Keep hydrogen in a room. So based on what I'm seeing here, I don't know if this is either saying that hydrogen is light or chlorine is heavy. But if I can put it in a room, similar to sort of the logic of my my guys up here, where I put them at the very bottom so that the carbon dioxide pushes down to them, would it be that I have, like, say, a room here and you come up under it so that the hydrogen stays up in it? But I don't know if... I mean, hydrogen is lighter than oxygen. I should just know that because it's, what, hydrogen and helium are the two, and it was the... was it Lindenberg? Was that the name of the balloon? The Zeppelin. The Zeppelin that went down. That was using hydrogen, I believe. And so I obviously know that a Zeppelin can float above air, so obviously hydrogen is less than oxygen. Hindenburg. Yes. Reed fiber. Alright, let's go to our research page and just see if reed fiber comes up at all in this. Doesn't seem like it. No? Okay, so... seems like it would come from something. I don't know what. Converts water into oxygen and hydrogen. Okay. So I could use an electrolyzer to make hydrogen. I could put like an electrolyzer, say, down here. Down here, have the hydrogen go up and then put some tubing in like that, a gas filter that filters out the oxygen and sends that into just into like the settlement, and the hydrogen stays. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. All right, let's start digging this out then. I don't think we need to go as deep. We don't want to go too far. We don't want them to do this where they sort of dig out the start so they can't get to the back. So a lot of algae still over here, and I did notice I'm getting a little bit low algae, so we'll dig up What's in there? It's oxygen, so that's cool. What do these dots here mean on the tiles? Does that mean that I've just rebuilt that in some way? That they've then just been hit with a marker? Like that at one point or other they were a corner, and now they've expanded out? Now, using water for oxygen, it doesn't... I guess the question that I can have with that is, can I use polluted water to generate that? Or I assume it would say polluted water if that was the case, as opposed to... just saying oxygen. I know I've got at least one suit sitting around. I think it might just be the one. Oh, that's two there, cool. Now there's no real reason that this square here needs to exist anymore. So I think we can build a square there, and then we can get rid of that square. And it stops this sort of just having a build-up of stuff there when it can actually get all the way down here. Now again, I could also get rid of these two squares and sort of build that just a straight down wall there, but that would mean that it would take longer to get to that threshold. So we'll leave it as 3. I mean, I know they can jump 2 squares up as well, so I could actually build this ladder here and just have 3 stairs up. So if they need to get down there, they can just go down and then hop down. And then I can block that off so that this then becomes even smaller and it can hit that threshold a lot easier. Okay, this dig is going well. That'll be where we call the back this. Actually, no, I don't even want to go that far back, so we'll cancel that. That's fine, those 4. And then we'll just pour another layer out. Let's build a wall back here. We'll dig out another layer. And that's 4 high, so we will go... and dig out that, so it'll allow them to walk under it. Got to keep an eye on these 3 because I can't get down stands. Yeah, good. Actually, that's wrong, because what I want in here is the farm tiles. So The question then, I guess, is that can I have these set? Actually, I'm pretty certain. And if I go up here and click on one of these guys, there's an option to disable auto harvest. So that's what we'd want to do with these ones here. I turn that off. Because I don't want them... Oh, I've got to wait for the plant to come up before I can make that rule. I want to disable that because I don't want the dupes taking this food. I want the food being there for the... for our mate. What's he called? Glosso. The Draco. So we've got the eggshells there. I did see that something was... Use eggshells to crush into lime. I think there must be limestone or something around otherwise. So I guess the big question for my next one is going to be, what is reed fiber? And how do I get it? The other one is, does my logic sound my Dracos, that if I put oxygen electrolyzer, one or two of them, or possibly more, below where my Draco is that a good idea for how to get hydrogen in there? Or is there a better way of doing it, more logical way of doing it? I mean, I realized as well I could just do the opposite, and I could put the electrolyzers just far away from it and just have them have oxygen just go straight into the atmosphere and have... I suppose I just don't want that hydrogen sort of just floating everywhere, so maybe having it in a sort of an isolated room could be the way to go. Okay, so we want to disable auto harvest. Then we'll pick these guys for all of those as well. Now we've got algae down here too that we'll want to claim. Possibly we want to remove these two and put them elsewhere and just be able to dig everything else. Well, I suppose if I dig this, we won't be able to get back out, so we'll just build a ladder in here for now. Let's for now make this an actual floor. So that means that we can take that algae and everything underneath it too. Well, there's a guy. There he goes. So I'd wrangle him though whenever he comes back up. Did I just click on all of them and then not say plant? Sounds like me. Is there a way that I could possibly do it? Like, I know that... I suppose there's no point. I was going to say, is there a way that I could do it that I could just set up so that this room is full of chlorine, so that's it's regularly working against the germs? Because this room can almost be completely blocked off because there's no no one really needs to access it. Like if I got rid of everything from down there, the only fluid going into it is coming from this liquid pump, so there's no actual bottle emptier to go in there. So I could ask for all of that to be dug up. I could then remove that ladder, or just leave it there, it doesn't really matter. Block these two off, before then set up an air vent system to push chlorine into that room, and then just have chlorine in with the polluted water, hopefully reducing the germs. And over a period, the only problem is that any polluted water that's going in there that is germy will then just sort of put new germs into that. So I mean, it would be that would then have to go somewhere else that would, like, that once I have no germs in there, it would have to go through a sieve, or I could potentially have a sieve running occasionally that I turn on to run it into this water. Because I could sieve some water out of there right now and put it in there, have it be water that just has germs in it, and then leave this water again and just hope to see that over time, like it did previously, all of those germs slowly work their way out. Is that a worthwhile thing? I mean, it seems like it's probably a bit too micromanagey. But I could set it up that, say, that water sieve sits here. This water sits with a sensor like this above, like sort of at a point in the water that says that, like, if this point hasn't been reached, then it, like, will show a red signal. It hits green so when it's red, it allows stuff to come through. When it goes green, it stops, or vice versa, or whatever way it works out. Then it sieves water, puts it in there, and then it holds. And I don't know how I would make it hold to a point where I say, okay, that's fine, and let's shift it out. But there's something there, I feel. Alright, well, that is the end of today in our little session. Not really sure what the thing of note in this one was. But until next time, I will catch you later. See ya.